March's episode of Academy Now. My name is Mandy. If you don't know who I am, I'm the marketing supervisor here at Decor Cabinets, and I'm here today with two very special guests. They're joining us all the way from the Decor main office, which is just a few streets away, and we'll hear from them in a second. But first, to get the chat warmed up, I wanted to know if any of you have been to KBIS before. Do you know what it is? Have you been? Have you had a chance to go? Let us know in the chat. If you don't know what KBIS is, which I'm assuming literally everyone that's watching does, KBIS is basically the event for kitchen and bath design. It's the biggest trade show in North America where all the top brands, designers, and industry experts come together to show off the latest trends, products, and innovations. If you've been before, you know it's a mix of inspiration, networking, and a lot of walking.
Yeah.
A lot of walking. If you haven't, imagine a great giant space filled with the newest cabinetry, appliances, tech, and materials all in one place. It's a chance to see what's coming next in the industry, connect with other people, other designers, and get fresh ideas for your projects. So let me just check chat real quick. Love KBIS. Every designer should experience once in their lifetime. I agree, Jasmine. McManus, hello, nice to see you. So we do have some people excited to hear from you guys today. With all that being said, all that KBIS stuff being said, I'd like to introduce you guys to our special guests for this month's episode. First, we have Don. Don Workington has been with Decor for over 30 years. We've seen him before on some previous webinars. If you've if you've had a chance if you've had a chance to come to our Decor main office, you've probably met Don. Don, you started in the CAD department. You moved to programming software, and you helped implement some of our new up-and-coming ERP system. And 2 years ago, you joined Customer Solutions as a much-needed appliance specialist. So,
Right.
Welcome, Don. And then second, we have Monica Rodriguez. Monica has been with Decor for almost 8 years and has worked in customer service the entire time. She has a passion for helping her designers and loves to help fellow CSRs as well with any questions. So thank you, Monica and Don, for joining us. If you guys have any questions for Monica and Don while you're watching, just throw them in the chat and we will be answering those along the way. So I would like to start off with some questions that I have for you guys about your experience at KBIS. I want to pick your brain just a little. I wasn't able to go. Maybe next year I'll try to swing a trip to Vegas with Decor, but some of us weren't able to go, and I'd love to hear about like the time and how it was valuable to you and some of your experiences and thoughts, opinions about going. So question number one is, have you ever been before? And if not, or if you have, like, what did you expect? What were you looking forward to?
Go ahead first.
Well, I know to answer for both of us,
Yeah.
it was the first time
Yeah.
for both of us.
Mm.
So I know for myself, I would preface the answer with being at Decor for over 30 years. I've always been amazed at what we do and how much we sell, and that we keep on selling, and that it's huge, or I perceive it as being huge. And then you go to something like KBIS and you're just awestruck at, wow, this is gigantic. It's like nothing you would have ever thought of, because around here we go to conventions and stuff and we see the buildings and stuff that we have, but this is like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times more. And it's just amazing.
Have you been to Vegas before, like in general?
No.
No. Okay, so the place was a new experience for you too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so for me, it was the first time in Vegas as well, and the first time in KBIS. And I would say that, well, we were told, oh, there's too much walking, just, grab your comfort shoes and go ahead with it. And there's lots to see and lots of stuff. And so I check in advance the map and what is all the
must-sees,
and
yeah.
the must-sees and what I wanted to see and what I wanted to check. I mean, it's big, but it's something that if you check in advance what you want to see, you have like, oh, I want to see this and this and this. It's not that huge. But if you want to see it all, there are kind of things maybe for as a CSR perspective, there are things that we don't really have a connection with it. There are things that they are not really related to our jobs, but they are interesting to see as well, like as a whole. So you see the whole renovations and all kitchen and bathrooms and everything, from a faucet to a toilet to everything. So you see all the vendors, all the new things, and that is very interesting. Yeah. So the expectations could be like, oh, it's a huge show, but you are not really putting all together, or all the things that you are going to see. It always surprises you something that, oh, I didn't know that this was here or whatever. Even if you check the information in advance,
you're still surprised by stuff.
Still surprised by
yeah,
that.
I imagine it's something like going to Disney World and like mapping out where you want to go, but obviously you see things on the way between the parks, so that's cool. So as you guys said, there's a lot going on at KBIS, and there's trends, there's innovations, there's connections. What were your first impressions walking into the event? Did you have like a goal in mind, like I want to connect with somebody that might be here, or a brand that might be here, or there's something specific I want to see?
Well, I mean, being that my position now is appliance specialist, I was very interested in going to the West Hall, which is where all the appliances were, and getting to see what it is that they had to display. There were a couple of conversations that I did get to have with some of the reps that were out. Most of them were salespeople, which is not necessarily my part of the business. I'm more into the specifications, but I did get to have a couple of really good conversations with a couple, and some of them I were applauding them because of the work that they do and that it is correct and that it's easy. Others I was asking questions because I wanted to find out information. It was difficult, but yeah.
How about you, Monica?
Yeah, I think I was with the mindset to be open to everything. So I said, I don't know exactly what to expect. So I was kind of like thinking, I will see everything. That's kind of like I mean, I was very interested on certain ones that they are related to my job. So I wanted to see, let's say, Bloom booth, because they have all the new hardware and how it works, and then the appliances as well, because we work with kitchens and we work with I don't know, to integrate all those appliances. What's new about appliances that they will be coming on our way in kitchens, and how we can make the kitchen to work around those appliances and to line up everything perfectly. So those are kind of like the big interest, but other stuff like, I don't know, countertops, how crazy beautiful are, and how, I don't know, tiles, especially because they're coming not just from North America, they're coming from all over the planet, I would say. So you have like countertops from Brazil, from tiles from Italy, and they are pure design, and they're like so beautiful that you see, oh, this will look fantastic in this kitchen or in this. So to put everything together, faucets that they are like pieces of art, because they are like, oh gosh, this is not a faucet, this is something else. This is something that it will be kind of like the star in the kitchen, right? So those kind of elements that they're like, you see them sometimes that they send you visuals of the kitchens, and they send you final, like when it's all done and they send you pictures and you see it all together. You say, well, how crazy beautiful it is all together, all the elements, all the pieces together.
Yeah, right? And I'd imagine going to KBIS, obviously inspiration's like a big part of why they invite people there. It just really opens your mind up to possibilities you didn't even maybe think about. And I think any designer or, decor employee could benefit really from seeing what's out there, right?
Yeah.
So going to KBIS and seeing all the different booths, did you notice any like overarching design themes? Like, did it seem like there was a trend or a theme that everyone was kind of leaning into this year?
Yeah, I would say that maybe we saw in different booths, we saw kind of like slim shaker door style that is all over, that we have like already in our lines. We have two of them in Zona Vida, and we have in the core line we have the V175, the MDF 875, and in the Zona Vida the 175 door styles, that they are exactly that. They were identical. So that was, I would say, many booths they have that, not just in the kitchen cabinetry, just in maybe displays that they have for appliances that they were using that door style, and it was all over as well. Like texture or reeded door styles, like the ones that we have in Zona Vida, the 220, they are like exactly that door style. There was many displays that they were just with that kind of trend all over, and then they have like arches everywhere, curves like in islands.
Arches and curves,
so
yeah.
all curves, so islands with the corner that is in curve. So even cabinetry, even countertops that they were just going around with a curve, kind of those details, and then lots of I would say luxury elements like handles that they were leather. I remember one display with leather handles, and even fabric, cabinets wrapped in fabric or wrapped in leather. So kind of like a luxury, not maybe for a kitchen, but maybe for a different, like a bar or some other, like a wine cellar or those.
So where you're not like splattering spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah. No, you don't want that. But that there are places for doing those elements, just incorporating those.
Like a mudroom or like an entryway or something.
Yeah. So I think that there were very interesting things that they would say, oh, we have that at the core. That there's certain things they say, oh, we have that. So it's kind of like ringing bells there. Yeah.
Some of the other things that I noticed is there's like a lot of the countertops, they showcase the stone, but these stone people are showcasing their stone as wall elements. So not only just a backsplash, but the whole entire wall. And I know that's been a thing like for years already, that people have come up with panels that are 3D routed with different designs in them. And the one that struck me that I saw, and I forget the brand name, but it was paper. And it was almost like it was 3D printed, but it was thin paper that you could glue on a wall, and it comes in a full, like a sheet, 4x10, and gives you that pattern on a wall, that, or decorative things. You can wrap it around columns or put it on posts and all that kind of stuff. Just the different uses that people were using things, other than just the traditional, like this is a countertop and this is a backsplash.
Yeah,
It was all over the place.
So pushing the boundaries there with your traditional thinking. So what I'm hearing is that we're bringing texture back to the house. We're bringing texture back to the kitchen with, stonework and linen and cloth, like coverings for your cabinets, which is great to hear. Personally, my style is, I'm not a designer, but I'm trying to go for like a mid-century modern in my home. So hearing that curves and like reeded doors and things are coming, that's really exciting.
Coming.
Yeah. So what is one thing that stood out? I mean, we've been talking about this obviously throughout the whole webinar so far, but if you could pick one thing that stood out to you as a unique design opportunity, what would you recommend or what would you suggest?
I'm thinking that the texture is probably the most common element that I think I see in many booths. I saw many examples of it, but as you said, like integrating different elements, not just the doors of the cabinetry, maybe those kind of elements to be in another part of the house, and kind of like integrate the whole design of the house, like not just one accent here, maybe an accent there, and then kind of like have like an integrated style throughout the house. It could be maybe because you can see like curve shapes in certain elements, and then you have walls that they are curved as well in the house, and then so kind of like not doing just one thing. I like this kitchen in this door style, and that's it. Not maybe other elements can have like that across. And I'm thinking that, for instance, when you see there was a booth that um, it was a Cosentino booth. They have like this. They have like a bar, and it was like made out of stone, but it was kind of reeded, and it was on the stone. So they were explaining that they were doing like little strips, and then they were kind of like following the curve of the bar. So that is exactly the same kind of like element that you have indoors, that they are reeded. So it's kind of like
just like reflecting it back throughout the
reflecting
home.
back. Yeah. So I think that, and of course arches, you could use them like a kind of like maybe in a over a countertop, but it could be as well in a living room, for just doing like some shelving there with an arch or something like that. So we have seen already elements like that, kitchens and houses that they are already with these elements through different rooms, not just in the kitchen. And I think that they are very good to see.
Don, anything to add?
Well, I know technology is always moving in, and with our appliances, that's huge nowadays. You can have luxury appliances that are anywhere from being very professional and very clean stainless steel, right? But focused on what it does as far as an appliance goes. But then there's other luxury elements that are being incorporated into your appliances, like Wi-Fi on your oven, and it has a screen. It has no dials, and you have an app on your phone that you can control that what's being baked and how it's being baked. And there are some even that have cameras inside the oven, so you can look at it on your phone. You can watch it being baked. It's just crazy. The one that I always like is, maybe as a kid, Mom always said, get out of the fridge, take a picture, it lasts longer. But now they have fridges where you walk up to it and you tap it and the light comes on and you can see through
without
the door
opening it,
without having to
letting
open
all
the
the cold
door.
air out.
It's just those kinds of things. The one that struck out to me was an LG fridge. It had 4 doors, it had 2 fridges and then the freezer. The one was a glass panel. You tap on it, the lights would turn on. You could see what was inside of it. And then the other ones were also lit panels, and you could change the colors on them based on your mood. At least that's what the salesperson told me. Right?
You could change it depending on the holiday.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what he said too. And it's like, but I thought that was cool. Like, okay, you change the colors, and you can.
Yeah,
depending on how you feel that day. Yeah, right.
Yeah, and those things, I mean, they seem silly at first and maybe a little impractical, but honestly, those are the personal touches that really make your home, and the comfy, cozy, and even the functionality of, do I need a camera in my fridge? Yeah, if I'm at the store and I forget, do we have butter? Like, it'd be great to look in the fridge and see, okay, I do have butter.
Yeah.
Save me some time and money.
The other, I don't know if I should apologize for going to appliances, but that's what I do.
No, that's why you're here. That's why you're here.
Monogram, was it Monogram? And I think it was Jen Air, the different colors that they're coming out with. Because, I mean, like, the appliances are always so clean, right?
Yeah.
And have to be spotless, right? So stainless steel was always such a big thing, but now they're coming out with more colors.
Love that.
And not only that, they're making their hardware interchangeable and offering different colors on their hardware. So if you're putting brass handles or gold handles onto your whole entire kitchen, you can now get those gold handles for on your appliances as well. And it's just amazing that, things are spreading to not just, well, I'm an appliance and this is what I am. It's now, oh, wait. No, there's
like,
there's
are we
more.
Showcasing the appliance now, or are we hiding it
There's
still?
more to the house. Cafe, I think, was the one that had the booth where it was beyond the kitchen.
It was
and
Monogram.
where you see things that I would have never imagined, like having a drawer fridge in the bathroom to store your makeup.
It's like a drink.
Or having a warming drawer in the bathroom to store your towels or your neck socks, right? Those kinds of things. It was like, okay, yeah, I guess you could use that here. Like, why
Yeah,
not?
why not? Um, Anything that's going to make my life easier or,
Yeah.
more enjoyable, do it. Um, for designers that did not attend, what do you think they should be excited for this year as far as trends coming into the scene? You just talked
Yeah.
about Slim Shaker, talked about Read It.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's coming. Curves, they are everywhere, I'd say, and yeah, and I think that there's a trend, at least is what I felt visiting different booths, that is becoming like more natural colors, more natural
Mm-hmm.
textures, and a trend to go for wellness. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like designing for comfort,
Mm-hmm.
and even like a visual comfort, like
Mm-hmm.
colors that they inspire you to feel at home in that
Mm-hmm.
way.
Yeah.
And I think that is, and even like stones, countertop styles, they are kind of like warmer tones and things like that. There were booths as well that they were colorful, but still kind of like nature related, because we saw, for instance, cafe display is always colorful, and then they have some purples on it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But there was a lot of green and flowers and kind of like
Mm-hmm.
nature blending feeling, and as well like countertops and everything was natural stones and natural colors, and I think that is kind of all over as well. I'm thinking that everybody, when they just design their own kitchen, they go with what they feel good
Mm-hmm.
about.
Mm-hmm.
So, but trending, I think that is more nature. There are lots of technology involved as well to make your life easier. There were some trends. I saw some of interesting things. For instance, I don't know if you remember in Jenner, in the Jenner display, there were some panels that they have like reclaimed materials from the
Mm-hmm.
ocean to make panels. Like it was a collaboration with another
Mm-hmm.
company to make your fridge panel to look like mussel shells, things like that. There, so they were almost like a piece of art. So they're
Mm-hmm.
kind of like as well, like nature involved in
Yeah.
designing, and I think that's huge.
Mm-hmm. Don,
And
something for the designers to look forward to.
Um,
there's so much.
yeah,
Just pick one.
there was
Just
so
like
much.
one thing that comes to mind. Doesn't have to be your
I know.
favorite.
Well, your question about the overarching, well, there were a lot of arches, and the one, as soon as I read that question when you sent them to it, I thought of the monogram booth, and they had a kitchen counter, no uppers, but it was just a great big arch that went from one end of the counter all the way to the other end of the counter. Yeah, and with all the appliances down at the bottom, and your sink in there, and no upper cabinets.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So was the archway like painted, or whether you could see through it, or
well, there was a backsplash. I mean,
oh, sure, a
because it's the
backsplash.
back of the wall.
Okay.
Be it, you could have put a window in there or
Sure,
whatever
yeah.
it is you would do. The other thing would be the hardware, like tip-up hardware. I think was still used extensively in a lot of the different booths, and not just small cabinets, but big cabinets. And that's what always gets me is like, okay, yeah, you see this great big door and it lifts up, but it's like three cabinets in behind. So it's like
Oh.
somebody spent a lot of time in developing that and
Yeah.
making sure that it worked.
Yeah.
But those kinds of things, lighting, lighting was huge everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and just the different ways that they were using them. I remember one of the booths. I think it was in the Hafla booth. They had a shelf with an aluminum frame door on it, and it had lighting inside the cabinet, and they had wine glasses inside of it, just one row, but they had put the lighting on the bottom floor shining up with the wine glasses sitting on top of that light, and the effect that
Yeah.
created was just phenomenal. Like, I thought it was
Yeah.
so cool.
That's
Mm.
awesome. So you guys have been mentioning a lot of booth names, and I'm going to put you on the spot here. Which booth or brand had the most impact on you personally? Like, which one was your favorite booth?
Well, I think Monogram is a good one because I've been told that they do always very nice displays, but it was very well thought. It was like a little house, so you have different rooms, and then
Yeah,
it
you
was.
couldn't go in the back door.
Yeah, no, no, you have to line up. There was a lineup, so you cannot go in for. Yeah, and I think that it was like a little of everything. So, and it was all concentrated, and every little spot it was well thought, well designed, and to make like a flow, but still you have lots of details to see through. So there was a kitchen, and there were like all the elements that you can think. So there was a fridge that it was with doors that they were wrapped in leather, and then there have um, like a an island that it was all the corners they were curved, and then they have the backsplash that it was a stone in natural colors with light inside of the of the stone. So they have like lots of elements in that little kitchen, and then you go to the bathroom, and then they have this fridge in the bathroom, and warmer in the bathroom, and then they have like so all the things, and then finally they have like a car, and then they have like a collaboration with Lexus that it was just displaying like a fantastic car with a color. The color was the fridge colors, right? It matches all the appliances
and the leather all matched the same color.
Yeah. So I think that it was kind of like the most probably like shocking because of the well thought. It was all super.
It sounds like
super,
a really curated experience for you.
Yeah.
And I mean, who doesn't want a Lexus with a pizza oven in the back?
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Those make those long road trips worth it. Dawn, did you have a favorite booth?
I would agree with Monica that, I mean, I think it's hugely marketing and where they position themselves, because Monogram was what you saw when you walked into the hall.
Yep.
So I mean, it struck you right away, but it was Monogram and Cafe, and just the being that in the end they are the same company, but Monogram was very luxury, very cool in the matte stone finishes and the leather throughout the whole entire house and even into the vehicle. But then you went across the hall and you went into the cafe booth, and it was like you were walking into the 70s. And I know Monica said to me, is like, look at the ladies behind the counter, and they were showcasing countertop appliances but they were all in pastel-y colors and bright and flora, and even the dresses that they were wearing, it was like they were from the 70s.
That's
and
awesome.
they were selling perfume or something at the counter. But you walked in there and it was all full of color and it was bright. Not necessarily something for everyone, but those are the kinds of things that people are going to remember.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it's all about.
A beautiful, I don't know, booths are the ones from, I don't know, Italy, but like the ones that they have tiles, that they are very pretty. That's,
I'm sure.
If you're a fan of it, it's just wonderful.
So, okay, piggybacking off of that, if you could take home one product that you saw from KBIS and put it in your home, what would you pick?
You have a favorite one?
It can be an appliance, Dawn.
It can be an appliance.
It probably would be, and if there was a favorite one, which I haven't spoken about, it would be the Jen Air cooktop. It was an induction cooktop that had a downdraft. It just had a circle in the middle of the cooktop, and that was the downdraft vent. So it sucked everything in from that little 8-inch vent.
Wow.
And expelled whatever. So you don't need that. You could have this cooktop on your island, and you wouldn't need a great big hood vent on top of the hanging down from your ceiling. It was ingenious.
That's awesome.
And worked really nice.
Yeah, that was my favorite. So I have to pick another one.
Yeah, pick something else.
Okay, I will pick a silica-free countertop then from Cosentino. That they have fantastic colors and great patterns.
Wow.
Really like it.
Okay. So KBIS isn't just about the products. It's also about the people. Obviously, a lot of networking happened, I'm sure. How did that networking and those conversations kind of shape your experience?
I think it was very easy. I mean, they were willing to give you all the information if you have questions and everything. You can connect with them. They were scanning your QR code and they were just sending emails to keep in contact if you have further questions or anything. So that's something that if it is the first time that you go, okay, they will scan your thing. Why do you want to scan this thing? Well, they contact you later on. So that's easy, but they're more than willing to explain what's new, in their booth, what they are like, the innovations that they're having in appliances or whatever. We were in Revashelf booth, and then they have all these inserts that they were completely different from what they used to have, and they showed us everything. They gave us a catalog, and they will send us more information after that. So the conversation could be if you're interested on a specific details. They have like certain booths that are maybe more like salespeople, but the others that are technical people as well. So if you go to Bloom, you can ask questions about the hardware. Oh, how this works, how my cabinets that have to be, how the drilling has to be to incorporate this hardware. And it was very, very easy because there were people, I think, not very knowledgeable in each of the booths. So that was my experience with the questions that I asked. They just contact you later on. They have like a list of people that they were interested, and if you want to, maybe for us, we don't have like maybe questions for sales, so it's a little different for us. But for designers or showroom managers, they go and then they can have like, I don't know, 20 different suppliers for a certain product that they are looking for. So it's all together. You don't have to be just browsing in, online to find them. They are all of them there. So if you want to have a new, I don't know, new microwaves on your showroom, you have all the appliances there, and then you can have all those contacts
So
right away.
it's a great time to
Yeah.
see everything they have
Yeah.
to offer,
Yeah.
and also get that face-to-face interaction and ask them anything, I guess, that you could want to ask.
Yeah, and to even go beyond the show, I mean, it's a great opportunity, and I have to thank our dealer development crew because they spent a lot of time organizing meetings or dinners with dealers that we have that are also attending the show. So you get to meet up with people that you maybe talk with on the phone all the time, and now you finally get to meet them face to face, and you actually get to have those conversations face to face, which I really enjoyed. Not so much meeting the designers because I didn't meet as many of them, but
Okay.
had the opportunity to talk to installers,
Mm-hmm.
which is really more up my alley as far as interest goes, because I've always been interested in that part of it, but getting opportunities to talk with them and connect with them on what they see happening and feedback and just getting to connect with them was big too, aside from the show.
Yeah, and they have been in the show, so they have like we have conversations
Yeah.
about the show, about it. Oh, what did you see? Did you see that? Did you see that
Yeah.
thing? Or what do you have that is similar at the core in this stand that I saw in this booth? So you have those kind of like connections afterwards as
That's
well.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So you did mention you met a few of our designers. Would you say that you saw a lot of like familiar faces, or was the event
Well,
too big?
None of them were familiar.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
First
mean,
time.
being
Yeah.
as new as I am into the customer service end of things, they're all new. So, but even just the opportunity to get to talk to them
Sure.
and stuff and meet them is big. That's
Sure.
huge.
I'm sure. Did you have any surprising or valuable discussions? So you mentioned the installers. You connected with them. Was it because what you do at Decor, you're appliance specialist? Was it helpful having those conversations with them? Like, did you see from their perspective, or did they bring up anything that you hadn't thought of?
There was most of it. It was conversations just about how they do things and how they see our product as it's coming in, and what kind of issues do they see when they're installing the product. I wouldn't say that there was any bad news, which
That's
is good.
great. That's great.
You know, of course, there's things that we all have to overcome, especially when we're sending out brand new product, and everybody has to learn what that product is,
Mm-hmm.
and try and figure things out. But it's great that, either we've made contact and now switch communication access, and can now communicate further
Sure.
going forward, and not just have somebody as a go-between, and then
Yeah.
conversations fall short.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I would say that you were asking if it was surprising or something. Well, I would say that when you go to these kind of shows, everything is familiar because we talk the same language. You talk to in the booth with the salespeople even, or the technical people that they are in every booth, and we are talking about the same kind of stuff. So
Mhm.
it feels like
These are my people.
these are my
Yeah.
people. I'm here and I feel
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
that's a good feeling, right?
So it wasn't scary. Going wasn't scary.
No, it's scary.
It's exciting.
It was exciting, and yeah.
That's
yeah.
great. So for those who are new to KBIS and are thinking of attending next year, what advice would you give them about making the most of their opportunities?
I would say just depending what are your interests. I was saying before, I think if it is the first time, I would just do like a quick, maybe an analysis of what are the booths that I'm more interested, but then just go to those first maybe, and then just go with the flow. Just be open to see everything,
Mm-hmm.
and to see new things, and have conversations in every booth with the people that they are there, that they will explain you, hey, what's new, and then
Mhm.
they will tell you, hey, this is coming, this is I don't know, a new model number that we have here that is perfect for this, or this new material, or this,
Mhm.
and ask questions and make connections, because
Yeah.
I think it's an opportunity to learn, to see new things, and try to kind of like maybe take lots of pictures of
Take
different
lots of
things.
pictures.
And
Monica,
then
I heard you took like 117 pictures.
maybe, maybe, but and just go with those ideas in mind. And when you talk to that one customer that wants something special, I have something for you. That's what you have to
That's
say. I have
great.
something from you, and it was KBIS this year, and it's new, and this is what you need. So maybe
Yeah.
that
That's
conversation
great.
that you will have with your customer later on.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Any advice, Don?
It's so big that it's almost difficult to take in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like Monica said, pick and choose what it is you want to see, and go and see those things. But then the rest of it is, don't hurry,
Don't hurry.
Yeah.
because, I mean, we didn't spend 3 days there. We only spent 2 days there. But
You could have spent more.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
there's so much to see. But take your time and take it in, rather than, because it's very easy to walk in there and be just like, oh my goodness.
Sure. Where do I start? Where do I begin?
Yeah, just have a look, and
Mhm.
like Monica says, ask questions, because
Mm-hmm.
they're there to answer your questions.
Mm-hmm.
So it's,
Okay. So I'm hearing have a loose schedule, kind of a checklist of maybe things you want to see, but like plan for time in between to be
Yeah.
stopped and
and I mean,
distracted.
there's other people that are veterans of going to those shows, so then they book, like, all, because there's different conferences and stuff going on, and different people doing
Mhm.
talks and all that kind of stuff, and
Mhm.
sharing information. But even in the booths that you go to, we would walk into a booth and, they're doing a demonstration, and so you get to stand and watch for a little while and have people showcase their product.
Awesome. That is great advice. So take lots of pictures and have a loose schedule. Also, I like the point that you brought up about taking lots of pictures and bringing them back. Share them with your team, share them with your fellow designers, share them with your family. I mean, anyone can be inspired, especially those that weren't able to go. And share that information with them, what you brought back, because I would love to hear. I love hearing archways and reeded doors and stone and things like that. So you'll never know who you inspire. So that's all the questions that I have today. I'm still opening up the chat for you guys to ask any questions that you would like. Um, I'll give you guys a little bit of time to ask any last minute questions. But while we wait, I would like to mention that signups for our July core tracks are now open. April filled up. I think we have like 14 people coming for April. So that's really exciting. But if you want to, if you're interested in the July or November dates, make sure there's wait lists. You don't have to commit too early, but you can get in the know if you sign up for a wait list. And the sign up is right there on our Academy website. If you don't know what Core Tracks is an exclusive training experience designed for dealers, designers, installers. It's like a deep dive into expert-led sessions, maybe by Dawn or Monica. You can come sharpen your skills and gain lots of insights to kind of master our product. Learn the ins and outs of all of our products. So with that being said, I don't see any new questions in the chat. Okay, Lee, how did you find that the other cabinets booths compared to Decor? Ooh, that is a good question.
That's a tricky question. Yeah, I mean,
you did mention we had similar products from what you were seeing.
Yeah, so door styles, there were some door styles that we have exactly the same. They were as well like steel, the shaker door styles and things like that. And then there are slab door styles. And that is, I think that kind of the look of it. The quality and that stuff, they are like different companies, they have different qualities. So it's not then the type of drawers, the type of inserts. It's there's lots of varieties, so there are things that they have better quality, lower quality. There are lots in the market.
Spectrum, yeah.
You don't have like a a pricing point to compare things. So it's really difficult. In general, we open probably every cabinet to see all the drawers. Probably,
it's a lot of
we
cabinets.
were saying, oh, let's see this one. So we really like our dovetail drawers,
Okay.
and we think that they are way better than anything that we saw. Just saying.
Okay.
but maybe we didn't see those ones that they were super special. You didn't see everything completely, but I think our quality is better than what I've seen in KBIS. But I find it interesting that KBIS, you are expecting maybe to see more cabinetry companies, and you really don't see that many. You see more components of the kitchen, and not so many whole cabinets. There are some, but there are not as many as you could expect.
Okay.
So I'm thinking that in general we have very, very good quality.
Awesome.
We could have the booth next
I
year.
was thinking, if there's an opportunity there, maybe we need to get our booth there.
Yeah, we have had a booth in the past. I don't know how
We
many
have
years
in the
ago.
past.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I mean, it's a big endeavor,
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
but definitely Decor's product is compared to a lot of the product that we saw there. Decor's product can match or is better
it's better.
Nice.
Yeah,
than a lot of the things that we saw. But yeah, it's that saying that I also understand what it takes to do something like that. So a lot of those booths, you can tell it's like, I mean, walking through the appliance hall and everything, and I kept pointing out things that were wrong and that they should have designed better. But just because those are the kinds of things that I see, but it's those details that, but when you throw things together and you get it into a show, you have to set it up in a quick amount of time.
Yeah.
You have to take it down in a quick amount of time.
Yeah, and it's a temporary installation, so it's difficult to get that kind of quality that you have when you are in a customer's house and you put everything together precisely with those dimensions and everything. So in that sense, it's difficult to compare.
Yeah.
There were some booths that we were walking through where it wasn't. It was like it wasn't finished.
Yeah.
Which is unfortunate for them because they're trying to showcase their product, yet it's not doing what you would expect it to do or what it was supposed to do. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge to do something like that. But
Sure.
it's worth it for anybody that's been there the first time. Great, go again, because it'll be different
It'll
going
be
a
different.
second time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. We have a little motto in our house that a lot can change in a year. So
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll never see the same
Well,
thing twice.
and you walk in it. I can imagine myself walking into it differently, because now you kind of have a mindset of what there is to expect.
Mm-hmm.
But you can walk into it with a little bit more ease
Sure.
and know what you want to do rather than going in
Mm-hmm.
blind.
Yeah.
Dare I say?
Yeah. Like logistically,
Yeah.
you'll be better.
You're more strategic.
Yeah.
So if you've been one time, that's not enough. Go again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we had one more question in the chat, and then we'll wrap this up. If you guys could, so this is from Jade. If you guys could show some decor items at KBIS, what would you show? Motion lighting, door styles, inserts, appliance install, etc. What would you show?
I think a little of everything. We have everything at the
Yeah.
core.
We maybe have too much.
We have maybe too much. We have to put a display together. I guess lights is a big thing, and hardware for sure. Hardware
Yeah.
that is like not just regular doors. Our hardware from Bloom, our lighting, and the new door styles. Probably
door
combination of
styles.
the newest door styles that we have. Something that is different at least, or go with the trends, but not just a shaker door style. Wouldn't make sense for me. If it is my decision, right?
Mhm.
I would go with the newest
Okay.
and the
Zona
trendiest
Vida.
thing. So Zona Vida probably is the way to go because it's different. And I think that we saw some of it, but like our Zona Vida line is really a trend. It's not really. I think it's very new. So
Yeah.
I think that we have to show more that line.
I think Zona Vida has a lot to offer, and I think
Yeah.
designers are just getting their feet wet with it.
Yeah,
There's a lot of
because
opportunity there.
Yeah, I think so. I think that would be the best to show. Zona Vida hardware lights, maybe
I
some
agree.
elements from the decor line as well that we have, like really door style that is more classic. So some kind of like make combination of it. But I think that Zona Vida has lots to offer.
Oh yeah, I think they'd do well in a show like that. Don?
I
Agree?
would agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say do a Zona Vida display and showcasing the near doors that we have in Zona Vida, but also even the melamines, the TFLs that we have, and the wood grains that we have, along with the super mats that we have. It's just those combinations put together can be really dramatic. So.
Okay. If that's the last question from you guys, I think we'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you guys being here. Once again, if you guys want to hear more from Monica and Don, feel free to contact them. Monica, again, is a CSR. Don is an appliance specialist, and they hold a wealth of knowledge. So utilize these people. But no, thanks again, and I really appreciate you guys being here.
Well, thank you
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you. All right. Bye.